You how to do the spark plug replacement on a Ranger. This is the V6. Driver side is easy to do. Passenger is so much until you get into the third spark plug and story of your life. Now normally you can go to AutoZone, buy a little, it's a 1 1/4 inch extension. You can buy that and that'll help out a lot. I just can't find mine at the moment, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to try to do this without that. For that part, I just did one of these about like a couple weeks ago, and that's what I used, and it made my job a lot more easier. Now this will be similar to pretty much almost all the V6 Rangers and stuff, so it's not that bad. I would start off with the passenger side first, get that side, the hard part off first, and then go off with the easy side on the driver's side. That's like literally like, you should knock that out within 5 minutes. This will probably take maybe 20 to 30 minutes on this side. We're gonna go ahead and replace the wires too. Spark plugs that I'm using, it's gonna be SP432, so we're gonna use a platinum. See that? Dim these out, so right there. So we're gonna use these. But yeah, if you haven't already, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future, and we're gonna go ahead and start this video after the intro. So I'm gonna kind of show you a little small, I'm gonna kind of be thorough like on what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna kind of fast forward the video. So again, I'm gonna be replacing the spark plug wires and the spark plugs themselves. So this is 1, 2, and then 3. That's how Ford likes to do their things. So you can see that right there. So 1, 2, 3. Again, so 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these all at once. So I mean, really, it's called common sense. I mean, you shouldn't mess this up. For the cables, the spark plug cables, I don't know if you can see it from right up here. So we're gonna grab this guy and just wiggle it back and forth, just like that. And then as you break it loose, you're just gonna rock it back and forth, just like that. So the way how I'm grabbing it is just like this. That's exactly how I'm grabbing it. So that we can do that. These guys are really, really hard, so I don't wanna reuse these. And then for the little clips, you can either get a flathead or you can just spin them out and pull them out all together. Again, that's what I'm gonna do. So make sure you try not to break them. So we'll just spin and pull at the same time, and then we'll mark the new wires the way how they're gonna be set up. And then right here, so you see how we're gonna go ahead and wiggle that back and forth. So once it's fully free, all right, so again, we're gonna go ahead and swing this right over like how we just did, and then we're gonna go rock it back and forth. So we're gonna go north and south, so north and south, and then while pulling on this bottom, like you're grabbing a pencil, and then with your finger, so your index finger like that, and then your thumb right there. So we'll just rock that back and forth, and you're gonna be pulling away from the spark plug. So just like that. You just got to put a little pressure into it. Then one thing I forgot to mention, be careful with this, or I think I did mention it. These guys are very brittle, so if you are working around this thing might break. So yeah, so just be careful with that, so that it doesn't break. So yeah, the one in the rear, you do the same thing. And I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this and get this going. And then for these spark plug wires, you're basically just gonna squeeze these 2 tabs, wiggle them back and forth, and then so on. All right, so the spark plug socket that we're gonna be using, it's gonna be a 5/8 spark plug socket. Part number is 52133. You can get this from AutoZone. And we're going to be using a 3/4 or a 19 millimeter socket. I like using this method because this gives me a little extra leverage. And if you have the chance to get the 1 1/4 inch extension, then I would recommend to get that. But since I don't have that at the moment, what you can do is with your ratchet that you could not fully seat it in, so I'll have it like that where the ball's keeping it from going in. And then if this is fully in, just like that, we don't want that. So we just want it like this, so where we break it loose and then we could try to spin it off by hand. And I'm using a flex head. This works out great. This one's a little bit pricey. This is by Craftsman. Part number, where are you? Let me see. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically Craftsman itself. This one's actually really great. So it's a pretty good size. This is the long reach one with the swivel head. So if you can do that, then that would be perfect. This will help out in the little tight spots, like where you can do it like this, just like that. So now for the spark plug, for some of you that don't know what it is, right there, that little white piece, that's a spark plug socket. So we're gonna go ahead and put our socket right over it. Just like that. Swing it back and forth until it does nothing. And then we'll do that just like that. And then yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do all three just like that. So first I'm gonna loosen them all, and then I'm gonna try to hit it with my electric ratcheting wrench. Cool, we got the spark plugs out. It's actually not that bad. I'm actually pretty surprised. For the 4.0, I actually struggled a lot. So, I mean, again, this one is not that bad at all. So, here's the spark plugs. They don't look bad. They actually look pretty good. Now, things you want to do, you kind of want to inspect your spark plugs. These look pretty good, nice and clean. So we know the motor's actually pretty healthy. If I can get that to focus, if it does, right there. So you can see all these nice and clean. Everything's good. So this motor is actually running really strong. Customer's really happy with it. So now we're gonna go ahead and put in our spark plugs. Gap should be between 42 thousandths of an inch to 46 thousandths of an inch. Alright, so for the spark plug, basically if you have a tool, what you want to do is you want to do the gap right there. So as you can see, we're at 50 thousandths of an inch. And we want to get it between 42 to 46. So we'll probably have it right there. So what you do is you don't want to force these. You just want to spin this until like it stops. So we're about like what, 58 thousandths of an inch. So we need to bring that, because if not, we'll have a hard time starting, and then so on. We'll lose lack of power and all that. So we're gonna go ahead and gap these. See how these ones stop. So these ones are actually pretty dead on. So again, we need to pre-gap these. What you can do is you can get like your socket. Make sure you're hitting the tip, not the porcelain part. Don't hit this. Hit the tip. So either you can tap on it until we get it going. And we just got it down just a little bit. If not, faster way is you can go like this. But if you hit it too hard, you're gonna have to bend it back in place. So we're gonna do that a few more times, and then I'm gonna get this going, and then we'll get right back to the video. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put on our spark plug. So again, we're gonna go ahead and put it in the spark plug socket. Make sure it's the magnet one. It's more easier so you don't drop it. Then what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna thread these in by hand, just like this. And you just catch a few threads, whatever, try to get most of it in. Yeah, you don't want to cross thread this. You cross thread this, your life is gonna be a nightmare. So let's say if it's kind of a little bit hard to go in, what you can do is wiggle as you're spinning. And if it starts spinning with, no crazy resistance, then you're good to go. So again, so you see how like I'm doing that and I'm spinning it right at the same time, and so that'll break it free. So we're gonna go ahead and do that for the remaining spark plugs. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten the spark plugs. Now, recommended spec is about 18 foot-pounds for the spark plugs to be torqued to. All right, so here are our new cables. We're gonna have 6 in total. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna go ahead and match these guys. So we're gonna do number 3, let's just say. So number 3, we gotta find the shortest one. So we're gonna match these all up together. And we'll grab 2 shortest ones. So this one is gonna be our shortest one right here. And then we'll see if that matches up with that one. So that's kind of identical. So right there, aftermarket's gonna always be a little set up. So we're gonna go ahead and match each one. And then I know number 2 is pretty identical to that one, but again, that one's gonna be our shortest one. So we're gonna repeat that process, and we're gonna line up everything, and then yeah, we'll get right back to the video. Of how I did it, I didn't show for the installation. I wouldn't think that it would need to be shown. So but yeah, so all right, so we got these hooked up. Remember 1, 2, 3. So cylinder number 1, cylinder number 2, and cylinder number 3. So make sure you follow those orders. So basically we have these all strapped in. We have those 2 right there, and then the third one is gonna go. I recommend putting in the wires first and then clipping these guys right in. The way how you'd pop these guys right out too, on one thing I didn't mention. Get this right there. So on one side, see how there's one that's gonna be closed, and then right here, you just get like a little pick or a flathead screwdriver, a little mini one, and then just like, you kind of either counterclockwise, or clockwise, however, just to pry these right back. And same thing for the other ones. One of them, kind of the tab broke for the bolt itself, the one right here. So I zip tied it to this guy right there, and then there's the other one. So we got all that cleaned up. So we want that looking nice and clean, and then we'll just spin these right away, just like that. Make sure they're not pressing against right here. But yeah, for the most part, that's how it should look like. Pull this back a little bit. But yeah, so you want to be clean and thorough on the spark plug wires. Make sure they're not crossing over, because then they can send an intermittent spark. The spark can't jump through the wire if they ever start showing. Now we're gonna hop on the other side. Now this side, again, this is pretty easy. Probably the wires will probably take the longest. So we got to get the wires from the right here. So all right, we're gonna have cylinder 5, cylinder 6, and cylinder 4. So 5, 6, and 4. So 5, 6, and 4. So the way how this one works, let me see. I believe this one's 6. This one's that one's 6. This one's 5, and then that one's 4. right there. Let me double check. Yeah, so there's the I just want to verify. Yeah, so okay, so it's just like that. So it's gonna be 4, 5, and then 6. So this one right here, again, 5, 6, and 4. So 5, 6, and 4. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. That's why I'm being very repetitive. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these guys right out. So we're gonna slide these right out from here. So we're gonna lift up the PCV hose right here. Actually, we can pop this guy right out. Oh yeah, it came out really easy. So we'll just pop this one right out. So I know some of you, yours might not be as easy to come out, but I think we're just gonna slide it up from up top and then bring it down right low. So right here, we'll just feed it through here. And then same thing when we wanna do the install. We're going to repeat the same process. Make sure we switch these over or you buy new ones. I don't have any new ones at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and switch these over to the new ones, and then I'll just show how to take off these spark plugs right here. Very simple setup. Alright, so we got all the spark plugs out. As you can see in this one right here, whoever put these in before, these aren't even the right ones. If I can get those to focus. So yeah, those aren't even the right ones. These should be right there. Even the old ones on the other side, those are the correct ones. So these are still the original plugs. Someone already changed these out but still didn't use the right equipment, and they wanted to cheap out on that. But again, you use the right plugs. These are good for 80,000 miles or 50 to 80, I believe, for platinum. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and thread these in. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, I noticed you probably noticed that I'm not using anti-seize. I'm not using it. That's more like a preference. We're in California, so we don't need to worry about it. I mean, dealership doesn't use it, so I'm not gonna use it either. So. Again, that's more of a preference. If you're out of state, then I would recommend to use it because you guys are dealing with more of salt and all that shenanigans. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and thread these all in by hand. And the easiest way to take these off was the 19 millimeter socket with a 3-inch extension, and then that worked out perfect. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and slide in our wires. You can either do this one at a time, however you'd like. But I'm just going to do this all at once. Let's just slide it right through here to the manifold. That's the one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start doing our little tuck. Alright, so now we're going to put back on our PCV hose, or the PCV valve, and then we're going to go ahead and connect our harness. Just like that. There's our wiring, nice and clean. That's pretty much it. I mean, if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future, and thanks for watching.